Hey guys, in today's episode, the witch is now dead, draws will no longer be on the ladder, and touchdown is getting a fix. All that and more in today's episode of Clash World. Hey guys, Legendaray here, and welcome back to another episode of Clash World. In this weekly show, we take a look at the most recent announcements from the Clash Royale team, the hottest topics in CR eSports, as well as what's going on in the community. Then, we'll finish off the episode by breaking down the meta and featuring my off-meta deck of the week. If you're enjoying Clash Worlds, then please leave a like, subscribe, and hit that bell to get notified of every new video that comes out. Also, go check me out on Instagram and Twitter, links down below, and with that out of the way, let's get right into the first section. New in the Arena. New in the Arena is where we find out about what the Supercell team has been up to this past week. Of course, Season 5 of Clash Royale is dropping on Monday, November 4th. There are some pretty big changes coming in this season, and considering that Season 5 isn't an official update, it's not that bad honestly. So, what's coming? Well, let's quickly go over that right now. First things first, of course, with a new season, we've got a new theme, the Great Goblin Feast, just in time for Thanksgiving. Seems like the goblins will take over this new season with a custom arena, new tower skins, and an exclusive Dark Goblin emote. Definitely digging this new disco ball. Looks like they're finally bringing that karaoke night that we all wanted instead of Clan Wars. Next up, are there any gameplay-oriented changes? Well, actually, there are. The biggest of which is the implementation of the tiebreaker system into ladder. No longer will we get draws with your opponents. The player with the lowest single tower will lose the game after the full 6 minutes of a match have passed. In addition to that, we've got a rework to an existing game mode. Touchdown. This game mode definitely has been one of the least popular in the entire game, and personally it's just not too enjoyable. So the dev team is trying a new variation called Mega Touchdown, where it's just like the normal touchdown, except you play with a custom 18 card deck, and it's also double elixir. From what I've tested, make sure you bring a good mix of building targeters, buildings, and spells. And last but not least, there are the highly requested balance changes. To be honest, it's pretty hard to screw these ones up, so yeah, they're a pretty solid set of balances. I'm sure you've heard of them already, so let's quickly go over them, as well as my thoughts on the changes. Which, removed area damage, hit speed reduced from 1.4 to 1.7, slower first skeleton spawn from 1 second to 3.5 seconds, and mass increased by 100%. Now this was a pretty big nerf. It's somewhat deserved, however. I mean, the meta basically revolved around either using the witch or specifically countering the witch. So, I mean, she for sure needed a nerf. That being said, the nerf was a little bit heavy, so I'm really interested to see how this affects her once the change is released into the public. She will no longer be a card that you can kind of just play reactively on defense, and I think that, you know, she'll still fit in those kind of beatdown type decks where the witch has to be played in the back, but again, just playing her reactively on defense definitely won't be as effective because, you know, those skeletons are going to take ages to spawn. In addition, she'll definitely be more of a musketeer card now, and I believe that that kind of was the goal of the witch rework. So overall, she'll be a bit underpowered. Elixir Golem. Hit points minus 10%. Now this change affects the Elixir Golem across the entire board. That means the Elixir Golem, the Elixir Golemites, and the Elixir Blobs are all going to be 10% HP less. Now, this is a pretty sizable nerf for the Elixir Golem. So again, a very good nerf for a very high use card. Personally, I would have just liked a damage decrease to the blobs, but I guess less HP would also result in less damage, so hey, I'm not complaining. Wall Breakers. Area damage reduced from 2 to 1.5. Damage minus 19%. Also, they deploy slightly further apart to fix true red, true blue issues. Heyo! Now this nerf was pretty solid. It's a really sizable damage nerf, and that combined with a death damage radius decrease will definitely be a good power reduction for these fellas. They still will both connect to the tower, so you still need to react to them, but the decreased damage will allow for more creativity when it comes to defending them. Fisherman. Hook range reduced from 7 to 6. Hook charge time increased from 1 to 1.1 seconds. Oof. This was a pretty big nerf to the Fisherman. Essentially, he'll still be able to activate King Tower with most troops, including giants and golems, but he will no longer be able to activate the King Tower with a hog, placed in the pig push position. In addition, he won't be able to switch lanes as easily, which is also a major hit to the card. Again, I still think he's going to be used because, the ability to straight up just pull a troop all the way across an arena is still going to be very, very effective, but I do expect a big drop off in his popularity. Executioner, max range from 4.5 to 5, axe radius minus 20%. Now, some people are saying that this change is a buff, and to be completely honest, it's pretty hard to tell, although it really does seem like a buff. The decreased splash radius will make him miss units quite a bit more, but the increased range will in turn give it a lot more versatility. So, again, I could see either way. Combining that Executioner with the NATO will be more deadly than ever, but again, that decreased axe radius will mean that he'll also miss a lot more units. So, again, really hard to tell. You really will only know until you've seen the card in action yourself. Barbarian Barrel, damage plus 8%. Okay, Supercell, Barbarian Barrel has not been seen that much recently, although some decks have begun to run Bar Barrel specifically to counter the Witch, so I think a buff was pretty well deserved. And to be honest, this was exactly the Bar Barrel change that I was requesting. This tiny change will allow the Barbarian Barrel to take off the shields from the guards, but it still won't kill the Rascal Girls, Princesses, or Dark Goblins. So, honestly, great change. I think the Bar Barrel is finally going to be in an ideal spot. Baby Dragon, hit points minus 4.5%. Okay, now this one was personally quite unexpected, and I might be a bit biased, but a lot of people honestly have been asking for a nerf to the Baby Dragon, and I really didn't expect one to happen. The nicheness of the Baby Dragon just allows him to be a little bit too versatile. By making him less tanky, this means that he still has his splash capabilities, but he'll just die a little bit easier and not be as effective and provide as much value for many different players. Overall, I think these are some good changes, and I think it's a relatively solid Season 5 as well. As for the next update coming probably mid to end December, we'll see there, but again, not much has been revealed as of now. Be sure to let me know your thoughts on the new Season 5 balance changes as well, especially that new tiebreaker system, which I think will definitely change the dynamic of a lot of your ladder matches. Now that's going to do it for New in the Arena. It's time to check out the eSports update. The eSports Update is a segment where we take a look at the new and rising pro players as well as recent esports competitions. This week, all 6 teams heading to the CRL World Finals in LA, California have been locked in. These teams are SK Gaming and Team Liquid from the West, Nova and WEDGM from China, as well as OGN and Fave Gaming from Asia. Really looking forward to this round of World Finals happening December 7th, which is, just over a month away. Can't wait. Now that we're caught up on the most recent esports news, let's check out the rising rumors. Alright, well, I don't normally share replays, but you gotta check this one out. Showing the new tiebreakers in action in what would have been a draw for both players. This was posted by, anyways, let's go. Oh man, wow, that was a spicy match for sure. Next up, we've got Croyle, who made a few posts about all of the star level skins in Clash Royale. I mean, I honestly haven't seen a majority of them, and wow, a lot of them look really, really good. Hey, maybe one of the cards you're leveling up has a very cool star skin. You never know. Now that we've covered the trending topics in the community, let's go ahead and break down the meta. So of course, with balances coming into effect on Monday, I'm going to be making my best prediction on how the November balances will shift the current meta. Elixir Golem. Now this guy will be very, very good in this meta. It won't be as popular as before by any means, but it'll still definitely be like a tier A or a tier B card for sure. He has less health, which is, kind of his main thing, but I truly believe that as long as those blobs do so much damage, that he's still going to remain a strong card in this meta. Witches. So obviously the Witch will be seen a lot less, but the Night Witch on the other hand I think will be a completely different story. She's already seen a lot in this meta, and combining her in Beatdown, Elixir Golem, Mega Knight, so on and so forth will be very, very good, as those untouched 4-bat death spawns add so much for the Night Witch. Overall, this meta is going to be nowhere near as crazy as last month's. I'm sure there's still going to be some things that aren't going to be perfect. I mean, that's expected as with any meta. And that's the meta for you guys. Now let's check out the off-meta deck of the week. That's right, in each Clash Royale episode, we're going to be featuring one off-meta deck that works in the current meta. This week's deck was submitted by Commander Rachioin, and it's a Graveyard P.E.K.K.A deck. And I mean, yeah, to be honest, this deck, it's like the bottom half looks like a Royal Giant deck, and the top half is like a weird kind of P.E.K.K.A variant. So, I mean, this deck, again, it's a very, very control-type deck. So, if you want to play that Furnace, you know, play those Baby Dragons and those E-Wizzes in the back, and then when your opponent makes a big commitment, or after a very successful defense, you go in with that graveyard and cash in on an elixir advantage. Overall, as long as you're pretty passive, it's a pretty safe deck to play. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into a match. Alright, so looks like this match here is going to be against Luis Guna, so good luck. And starting off this match here, we're just going to go ahead and play a Furnace right there in 4 tiles from the river. It won't pull a Hog Rider, but hey, Hog Rider's not too popular this meta, so I don't think we have anything to worry about. So let's see, he's going to go with some bats, but those fire spirits are still going to get some damage. I'll leak a little elixir as long as he's leaking elixir, and here I'll just go ahead and poison out that witch. We're going to try and keep her as long in the poison spell as possible so that she, you know, gets as much damage. And here we're going to go ahead and E-Wiz onto that. As you can see, if you react fast enough, you can actually stop all damage onto the tower. So let's see here, E-Wiz right there. We'll stop those right there, and then we can go in with a graveyard with the barbarian tanking. Unfortunately, it does die, so I kind of screwed that up, but hey, I'm not a graveyard player, so that's my excuse. And here, okay, that's not good. Bandit's gonna deal quite a bit of damage, but hey, you know what? We're still in the damage lead, so everything is fine and dandy. So here, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with a baby dragon right there, and then follow it up with a furnace to go ahead and finish off that miner right there. The miner, yeah, it does quite a bit of damage, so that's kind of unfortunate. But here, we'll just go ahead and go with a poison right there. Try and DPS that, you know, witch down as fast as possible. I just don't want to deal with it. It's such an annoying card. And yeah, the witch does die, which is a really big plus for us. And let's see here. Fire spirits will continue to get chip damage onto the tower and force out a response. So here we're just gonna go ahead and go with a bar barrel onto that bandit right there. And I kind of screwed up the timing again, but it does go down. So yeah, I don't have anything to worry about. So let's see here. I'm gonna actually go in with a P.E.K.K.A in the back. We're heading towards double elixir time. I'll lag a little bit there, but that's fine. But yeah, let's see here. He's gonna go ahead and go in with that. So I'll go with the E-Wiz right there. That should hopefully pause those enough. There we go. 0 damage onto my tower. And now we've also got a pretty sizable push, I guess. Let's go ahead and go with a baby dragon and then follow up with a poison. We're gonna tank that entire thing right there. Actually, we can't do that. But let's see here. We're gonna wait till the thing gets closer to the tower, and then we're just gonna NATO it, get an activated King's Tower right there. As soon as the Mega Knight dies, we're gonna go in with a graveyard as well as a barbarian barrel, just to add some of that extra, you know, kind of pressure in towards the opponent. Look at all this stuff on the tower. He does do a really well played zap, but let's go with the poison as well. Baby dragon on the tower. P.E.K.K.A takes it down. 20 seconds left. Nothing this guy can do. As you can see, you know, even though P.E.K.K.A's not that popular, he still does have his uses. So here we're gonna go with an E-Wiz just to, you know, finish those off. The fire spirits demolish those wall breakers, and 10 seconds left. Activated King's Tower, putting in work. We do take a bandit hit, but there's no point. Let's just spam everything towards the King Tower as a form of dominance, and there we go. Yeah, we just completely controlled that match right there. Alright, so there we go. That was the off-meta deck of the week. Honestly, it's a really fun deck to play. Definitely recommend you guys give this deck a try. It's really, really fun. If you want to submit your own deck, feel free to leave it in the comments section below. But unfortunately, guys, that's all I've got time for in today's episode. If you enjoyed, please leave a like down below as well as a subscription to my channel. And as always, this is Legendaray, and I'm signing off. See you guys next time.